The reason why 90% of men stay skinny fat and never really lose that physique is because they don't know how to take action because there's so little evidence on what their current scenario is and how to get out of it. And that is exactly why I do what I do. So welcome to the channel if this is the first time here, but you're also going to be finding out what you need to be doing instead to escape the skinny fat trap, which a lot of people won't tell you because the way your current scenario is going to be in between a lot of different things. And if we're being honest, there's a lot of different ways that you can escape the skinny fat trap, and that's what makes it tough, because it gives you the decision fatigue that you don't actually know what to do. And just like every single video, I have one page of notes, zero editing, gonna be me speaking to the camera as raw as possible. Literally, this is all I have for this video, and yeah, I feel like the better I get at conveying my knowledge to you, it allows me to be a better speaker, a better storyteller, all this other good stuff as well. Because, maybe believe it or not, I'm not skinny fat anymore, but I used to be. There's loads of photos on my Instagram at Ryan McIntyre Coaching. Literally took a minute in the video before I plugged anything, but yeah, you can see my transformation over there, and you can also see other client transformations, so you kind of know what I'm talking about, or at least I have some credibility on this topic. But hopefully, since you're here, and if you're gonna stay, you're gonna realize why I have credibility in this topic and why I wouldn't say the go-to guy, but I'm becoming the go-to guy because of you don't see many people making videos like this. But why do I actually say skinny fat? I'm gonna drop this down because I don't really need it. But what actually is skinny fat? I mean, if you clicked on this video, I assume you feel like you're skinny fat, or you are concerned you might be skinny fat, or you feel like you are diagnosing yourself as skinny fat. It is simply having a high amount of body fat percentage compared to your muscle mass. So simply put it, is that probably in your earlier years, from my story, is the reason I was skinny fat was that my diet was terrible, did not care about protein, barely ate anything throughout the day, and I played a lot of football and played a lot of video games. So a couple of dodgy lifestyle habits in there led me up to the point that I was maybe around 18 or 19, which this usually affects the younger guys because of the diet choices. You feel like you can get away with the poor diet choices when you were younger, and you can, because skinny fat isn't seen as a problem, but it is. Because of the visceral fat, which is the fat inside your body, since you have a high body fat percentage but you are smaller, the fat is actually more stored inside your body instead of outside, which means that obviously it's fat around your organs, which is never good. I mean, there's loads of scientific reasons why that's not good. I don't have to go into it. But yeah, you can do some research on visceral fat. A little bit more details. I could put a couple links in the description, maybe that could help out with that. But number two is that, like I said, the problem is not seen as a problem. And this is why 90% of people don't escape the trap, because they don't believe they're in a trap. They don't believe that what they look like right now is a reason enough to change. Like, they look at themselves in the mirror, or they speak with their doctor, say that their health markers are all fine, like they're all in the healthy ranges, they're all in you're a healthy individual, all this stuff, but then they look in the mirror and they don't see themselves because of the body fat. Or they put on a shirt and they want to have some strong arms, a lot of muscle, they want to feel confident, but then they take off the shirt and it's like they look completely different. They look fluffy. And that's like the same as me. Like, I was soft and I didn't know how to fix it, and that's why I started to do what I do now, because I realized that there's such a lack of not information, but convincing information. Like, there's nobody out there that says it how it really is, or says how the problem and your solution is how it's going to be. Because realistically, 90% of people are just happy to stay where they are. They're happy with average. They they don't feel like they will benefit that much from escaping it because they don't know the benefits of being in the position that they could possibly be. Like, for example, you don't get into fitness because you know the future benefits. When you get the future benefits, you realize, why did I not do this sooner? And every single person that you speak to says they wish they either got into fitness sooner or invested with a coach sooner, or they just wanted to exercise more just to live a happier, healthier life. Which, if you feel like this is a problem and you feel like you fall into that category, there is a way that obviously I can help. Link in the description. You can check that out maybe at the end. But yeah, if you want to have a chat with me and you can explain your problems and I can basically debunk how I can help, that is the solution for you. It is literally a win-win. You speak to me for 10 minutes and you will literally walk away from that call with everything that you need to do, whether we're a good fit for it or not, to actually get results. Or I can say it how it is, pretty much. In terms of the reasons to change as well, you feel like it's too difficult to change, or 90% of people feel like it's too difficult to make the changes. And they're probably right, because if we're being honest, it is not going to be easy, especially if you've been on this planet for, for me, 21 years. I know a lot of people say I look a lot older, but it takes a lot, especially for me. There was at least like a whole life of long bad habits. Me playing video games, just doing some weird stuff, playing up until 2 a.m, not caring about sleep, not caring about recovery or diet or anything like that. And you feel terrible, but you just feel like that's everyday life. And I just felt like that's just how my life was meant to be. Until you take the action, until you look for help, until you ask somebody for help. And that's tough, especially being a man. Asking for help is probably the worst thing that a lot of people in their head, they're not confident enough to ask for help. Like, I felt like I was so introverted when I was younger, and I still feel introverted now, but I would be the last person you would believe to be filming a YouTube video with no editing, no script, no cuts, or building an Instagram account, or filming videos on TikTok, or anything like that. Genuinely speaking to people every day to help them with the problems. You would genuinely think, like, if you said that to me 3-4 years ago, I would think you would be crazy. But life can change very fast, and if you're on this video, then you're taking the right steps to getting towards that action, and you are instantly in the top 10% of people and more likely to escape the skinny fat trap just by being on this video alone, which is pretty crazy. And I can't even read my own writing, to be honest, but you don't understand how difficult it will be to change your lifestyle habits. And the reason why is because you try change them all at once as well. Is that you try fix your sleep, you try sleep earlier, you start to put a lot more pressure on yourself as well as what your current commitments are. Is that you try to change all your bad habits, or what you think is bad habits, to make them into good ones, or you just try to remove them and don't replace them. So maybe instead of scrolling in your bed at night, what you can do is you can start to pick up a book like this. It doesn't have to be a book like this, just any book, where you can get an audiobook and you can get headphones. I've got the audiobook of this and the actual physical book, so you can read, lock in, no other distractions, read for literally 20-30 minutes before you sleep. It will make sleeping 10 times easier because you don't think about sleeping. Instead of scrolling on your phone, consuming all the blue light. Let me put that back down. But it's simple stuff like that, and doing it one at a time. So the main action step I would have for this is write down all the habits that you believe is causing you to be skinny fat right now and causing you not to escape the trap. So maybe for me, it was video game addiction. For me, it was playing a lot of football and not eating enough food based on how much football I was playing. Like, I was burning so much that I'd had to eat so much food. I'm not saying to cut out cardio, of course, but you need to be tracking how much food you need to be eating based on the cardio you're doing, because that will be a problem. And number 3 obviously was staying up late at night, not getting much sleep. And another one would have probably been like a low protein, low calorie diet as well. And I would write down all the things I would want to change, and then I would go down that list and ask myself, what is the highest leveraged, prioritized action that I could do first, or what is the most beneficial, like high leveraged, positive attribute that I could change to make me make progress the most. So in my list, it would probably be the low protein one. I think simply for how easy of a change it is to eat a higher protein diet and how much more benefits you get just by making that tiny swap, perfecting that swap, and then once you feel like you've got it down and you feel like you never want to go back to not eating a high protein diet again, because you will feel like that once you feel the benefits, then you can move on to the next thing. And that's the goal, is you make the tiny change, feel the benefits of the change, then you move on. And then becomes like then life becomes a video game. You are then bettering yourself. And then all of a sudden you look in the mirror and you are shredded to the bone with crazy muscle. I'm not shredded to the bone, of course. I know I'm quite bulky, but at least I have more muscle when I started. And also, I'm proud of my physique as well, and I'm happy where I'm at, which I wasn't. I couldn't say that 3-4 years ago, which I know a lot of people will look at me and be like, "You're not even in shape," blah 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 blah, or like, "You're a coach, but I look better than you." Blah, blah, blah. Like, it is like, I don't really care. I get a lot of hate as it is. But yeah, so like I said, you need to assess what you are currently doing now, figure out what is causing you to have the skinny fat physique, and then assess how you could change that. Like, what are the sacrifices that you're probably gonna have to make? And then you can slowly sacrifice them over and over. Like, you can still add them in. Like, of course, everything's good in moderation, having that, but it's just about tracking it and understanding where your time is going, where, like, how you're eating, sleeping, because what gets tracked gets improved. And when you improve that, people think it's obsessive, but what's obsessive is just scrolling through life and just feel like things are just going to change without you doing anything. And that, for me, just blows my mind. But like I said, if you want help implementing this, click the link in the description, book a call with me, and I look forward to chatting, to seeing how I can help. If there is slots there, because I make this video, but then maybe you could see it in a week's time, 2 weeks time, a year from now, and who knows, maybe I'm not taking calls anymore, maybe it's somebody else. So if there's slots on the calendar, I'm still doing them. If there isn't, then sorry. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and remember to take your creatine today. I'll see you in the next one.